There's probably one of them in the recycling bin.
Now, are we recording? Okay. Here's the thing that we really need to start emphasizing, okay? This isn't simple mathematics where you just know how to do long division, okay? Okay, I know my math facts, so I'm going to be able to do this. With algebra, there's stuff that we need to memorize. So with every day, at the end, you should really be thinking to yourself, what did I need to remember? What do I need to memorize for Friday's quiz? That sort of thing. All right? So there are two major parts of yesterday's lesson that we need to remember. Usually they're the parts that are highlighted. Don't look back. Let's see if we can work together to try to figure out one of them. There's a certain order. The first thing that we need to know is a very specific rule, but then the other one, it applies directly to what we did yesterday. So for the first part, what are two of the most important things to remember from yesterday's lesson? What's one of them? Yes, sir?
Simplify.
Simplify. That is something that you should do always. Yes. Okay, that's a part where some people were making some mistakes on the homework. Yes, sir? Yes, if you do something to one side, you have to do it to the other. That was the addition property of equality, because it's equal, and the subtraction property of equality. Okay, and it's saying that if you add a number to it itself, the opposite, it's going to be there. Speaking of opposites, what can something tell me about the opposites? Gabe, do you remember? What was opposites yesterday?
Addition and subtraction.
Addition and subtraction. What can you tell me about it? Addition and subtraction are the opposites of each other. Addition and subtraction are the opposites of each other. Good. Now, what does this have to do with solving for variables? You don't have to write that yet. This isn't that. This is a summary from yesterday. Chasen, what can you tell me about something about opposites? Why did we have that? What was our goal yesterday?
Wait, like negative and positive?
Yeah, negative and positive. That was Monday when we were doing integers. And this still dealt with it yesterday, and it still deals with it today. What is the next major concept of yesterday's lesson?
Was it
The what?
I'm confused about the question.
Okay, let me try to rephrase it. We had addition and subtraction are the opposite of each other. In what situation? What were we doing yesterday? Sophia, can you help me out? I know you might not have had your hand up, but...
Well, I wrote this down. Whenever you saw the
There it is. You have to undo what is being done to the variable to get it by itself. That is also the big theme about today. But we're stepping it up a notch. Rather than doing addition and subtraction, what do you think we're doing? Say it. Beautiful. You are correct.
popcorn again.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. I haven't entered them to find the average yet. It's gonna be a tight race. There's a lot of A's. Now, I had you not bring your textbooks today because I expect you to remember something from yesterday. We have, if you multiply by the same number on each side of an equation, the two sides remain equal. They remain equal. What do you think this property is called, Josie? The multiplication property of equality. You are correct. Write that down, everyone. The multiplication property of equality. And I'm abbreviating because I know exactly what I'm referring to. But if you don't know exactly what it is, I would like you to not abbreviate, please. Because if you live in Holiday Shores and you say multiplication prop, and you're thinking of a boat prop, what? Don't you guys live in Hosho? Yeah. Now here's a really tough one as well. If you divide by the same number on each side of the equation, the two sides remain equal. What could that be, Anthony? Tony. Yeah. Division property of equality. Division. Division property of equality. Then we are going to have a highlighted portion. You hand that to me and you say, hey, thanks for that. No, hey, thanks for that.
Hey, thanks for that.
You're very welcome, sir. The opposite of multiplication is division. And the opposite of division is multiplication. And it goes along with what we said yesterday. When we are having something happen, we have to make it unhappen or undo it. Oh.
Wait, should we put that on the chapter?
Write it where I have it. Write it where I have it. The opposite of multiplication is division. Can you please write not late on there, please? Write absent. So I want to give you 50% off on that. Okay? So the opposite of multiplication is division, and the opposite of division is multiplication. Then there's one other thing that you don't have in your notes. It's this word right here. Parentheses. Please write that in there. You don't have that word that I just circled in pink. I'll move it up so everybody can see. So we are not using division signs. We're not using multiplication signs. We are using fraction bars and parentheses. Okay, the same way that we use parentheses for multiplication in the distributive property. Remember that from last Tuesday? Okay, that's what we're doing again, and there's a reason for that. Last period, there was someone who was getting a lot of the examples wrong on the independent practice because they weren't following what that says right there, because they were confusing themselves. All right. So here's an example where it's completely done for you, but we're going to take a step back. Okay. Whatever's dark, that's the original problem. The gray is what's being worked on it. But once again, the first thing that we need to figure out is what is being done to K? What is being done to K? Here, I'm going to rewrite it. Let's do... It's magic. Don't ruin the fun. Just act like I'm magic. Okay? It was negative 12K equals negative 60. It is warm in here, especially underneath that lamp. Air conditioning? No, they're not going to. It's going to be cold enough soon. Yes, sir. What's happening to K? Yes, multiplication. Can we be more specific? Multiplication, something's being multiplied. What is that something? Anna? Close. Very close. It's not 12. What is it?
It's being multiplied by
Negative 12. I'm going to underline multiplied by negative 12. Okay? It's being multiplied by negative 12. So I'm going to do that. And I do want you to write these stars that I'm doing because I'm not going to be with you when you're doing all this homework, most likely. You will have some time to work on it today, but I'm not going to be, unless you're working on it at lunch, you can come see me. So, how do we undo? I underlined. How do we undo it?
Very well.
How do we undo it? How do we undo it, Gina? Okay. Undo, yes. Undo by dividing by what? Negative 12. Yes. I want you to point out to yourself what's happening. Where did it go? So we're undoing that. So let's do that work. So we are going to divide by negative 12, divide by negative 12. These two are going to cancel each other out. So it's going to be k equals negative 60 divided by negative 12. First off, AJ, can you tell me if it's going to be a positive or negative answer? Exactly, because two negatives make a positive when division. Okay? So what is the correct answer there? Yeah, David? 5 is correct. And I circle that, and the answer is k equals 5. Wake up. You're lucky I couldn't find my other ball. I don't know what boys volleyball did with it.
What is on this rag?
Wet erase marker or dry erase marker? He's been dozing for the last 3 minutes. Okay, so with the extra work that it says over here, what you would do on this one, you would have the, if you wanted to, you would have the, that's the extra work. All right, good. Any questions on that one? No? All right, I'm going to rewrite this one now. It is z over negative 5 equals 11. Z divided by negative 5 equals 11. And before we even get started with this, is z going to be a positive or negative integer? Yeah, what do you think? Negative. How do you know that? There's only one. Wouldn't it be this that would indicate? Yeah, this here is a positive number, so you know that this z is going to be positive or negative as well, because two negatives. Negative divided by negative equals positive. Okay. All right. So what's happening to z? What's happening to good old Zachary? What's happening, Chloe? What's happening to z? Z is being divided by negative 5. So we are going to undo it by doing what? Will? Yes. Close. You want to try that again? Yeah. We're going to undo by multiplying by 5. Negative 5. So I'm going to take multiply there. Multiply by 5 there. There's the parentheses with multiplication. That's what we were talking about. There's the parentheses with multiplication. Open this window. Okay. So we have left over, I'm going to travel over here. So we have now z equals, and what's negative 5 times 11? Good, negative 55. So my answer is z equals negative 55. I circle it, and I'm done with that one. Yes, sir?
I see the places, but I never do it with that. Like, why do people sometimes like write a line through a Z?
Because it's a 2 if it isn't. I mean, if I were to, yeah. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I do this, now it's 1Z, 3, 4, 5. And the reason why people put dashes through 7s so it doesn't look like a lazy 1. I would like you all to do these two. I haven't heard any questions yet, which could be good or it could be bad. I want you to do in-class practice 1 and 2. Do not move on to the next ones. If you're struggling, I'm going to do it up here. If you want to challenge yourself, do it without looking up here. But when you're done, look up here to the board and you'll see if you get the right answer. So go ahead and do that. You don't have to write my thought process one, but I'm going to. You only have one side? Looks like you got the original. The original gangsta. Yeah, yesterday, didn't you have it too? Yeah. Okay, so we're all trying 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. One times B equals B. For example, if you have 1 AJ, how many AJs do you have? 1. Whenever you have a variable, it's 1 times that. Which is why some people didn't get the 3C plus C on the quiz. They didn't get that correct because they just had 3C when it should have been 4C.
What if you put -9 equals B?
Same thing. Yep, you can add the variable on either side. Tomorrow is word problems. Hi. Oh, yeah. Anyone have any questions about that? No? Everybody got those correct? Now, if you are struggling at all to understand any of this, you should write down what I wrote down as far as the words go, because that's the thought process you should be having while doing this. That's the thought process you should have while doing this. Yes? Nope, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Because they're equal, it's same on both sides, so I don't mind what order you put them in. Good? Everybody done with those? Did you write down the thought process? Good. Oh, you're not done checking your work?
What was the example from on the first side? That was the example.
Oh, we just did the examples, the other two examples. Good? All right, I would like you to write Smith on 1, 3, 8, and 12. You're going to write Smith on 1, 3, 8, and 12, and you're going to work on those other ones. There's a couple that are very similar to the ones that we just did, but they are different because it's integer rule differences. I would like you to please do that. This is the time where I'm going to be passing out the homework, but you must finish this page before you do it. I will be writing the answers on the board after I pass out the homework. Do not look up here until you are done to check yourself. And it's going to be, then I'll distribute the, depending on, I got to record those first, though. I got to record them first on my gradebook. Okay? So I'm going to write the answers in 6 minutes, so YouTube, come back in 6 minutes, or work on it yourself if you have this at home and you're absent today. But in 6 minutes from now, that's when I'll be starting to write the answers. Bye. Whoa. Yes. Nope. 2 negatives. I told you that was right? Was there a negative sign that I missed? Yes. Oh, Oh, yep, you're right. You're right. Oh, well, I'll give it to you anyway. Now, if you have any questions, I'll come around and answer them as I'm passing out the quizzes. And if you have questions, email me, come see me during activity, come see me during lunch. Just don't accept not understanding. I'm here to help.